Yesterday, we mentioned that certain words have a different feeling and create a different meaning in each person, right? Like the word amazing, you might have somebody that's using that word and you can have that sort of emotion come up with that. Well, there's an expansion on that, which is paying attention to what sense the person is using, whether they're talking, in a sight-oriented sense or an auditory-oriented sense, in a kinesthetic-oriented sense. So if you were to pay attention to how the person is communicating to you, if I were to ask Mo something and she says, well, yeah, I see what you're saying, I can tell that she's using sort of a visual sense, at least to talk about this particular thing. It doesn't mean that she's always visual about everything she does. It can't be generalized like that. But you can pay attention to certain things that maybe she's explaining to me in a visual way. So if I wanted to communicate back with her in a way that was easily understood and sort of taken on board a little bit more deeply on that same theme, then I would communicate back to her in sort of a visual sense as well, right? So if I'm communicating with one person individually, I will ask a question and then I will listen a little bit to what they're saying, and you'll hear them say things like, oh yeah, I hear you. Oh yeah, I feel you. Well, that sounds right. You can hear, if it's a hear word, it's an auditory, sort of sense. If it's oh yeah, I sense that, I feel that, I got it, I understand. Those are more kinesthetic, kind of touchy-feely words. And, oh, I see that. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's colorful. Those things are more connected to the visual sense. So they would just give you simple clues as to how to communicate with that specific person in order to be just a little bit more in rapport, because it's all about rapport, right? Once you build rapport with a person because they understand that, the communication goes well, then you're going to be able to influence them a lot easier. Now, if you're speaking to a crowd like I am doing here, I'm speaking to a broad audience and I have no idea if you like visual, if you like auditory, if you like kinesthetic, one thing that you can do when you're doing that is use a little bit of a variation on the same thing that will hit each of them. So I could tell you, for example, to take a look and see if these techniques of communication are something that you might be interested in learning. And if it sounds good to you, to actually pay a little bit of attention and put a little bit of time into refining your language, then you might feel as if these skills are actually worth learning, spending a little bit of time using. Does that make sense? So in that sentence, I gave you just one little bit of motivation to learn these skills. And I did that by using a visual sense, an auditory sense, and a kinesthetic sense so that I would kind of hit everybody in the audience, and hopefully you receive the message that way. Does that make sense? So, all right, there it is. Pay attention to what sense a person is using in their language, and that way you can communicate with them back a little bit more clearly.
That's really interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy that.
I
hope
did
you enjoyed
enjoy
that as well.
I'm going to pay attention too to my responses now.
There you go.
Now I'm kind of curious that I can't think right off the top of my head which sense I'd fall more into, but now I'm going to start paying attention to how I respond, and maybe that'll help me become a better learner.
Yeah, it helps you, being aware of yourself helps you become a better communicator in any way, with yourself, with other people as well. So yeah. Anyway,
Thanks for that one.
Hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you on the next Coaching Corner.
Hey, if you found value in this video, please hit the like button so more people can find it, and consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell for more life-enhancing content. Oh, and by the way, there's no rush. Hang around, watch some other videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.